Growing up in Nepal was pretty tough for me, and I was brought up in a very humble, and really poor family, I would say. And just to give a raw example for this listener, and I didn't even used to have a flip flops, when I was kid. As my brothers get into the Gurkhas, and I just wanted to be a Gurkha as well, and that kind of boost a bit of morale in the family, and also I decided to join the Gurkhas. But coming into the questions, the climbing the mountains and all, even though I'm from Nepal, I never had thought that I would climb any mountains, at that stage. As a kid, I just wanted to be a Gurkha and all that. And also because I also grew up in the most flat and warmest part of the country in Nepal, in the Chitwan. So it's so hot. So yeah, growing up was completely different to who I am today, I must say.
Anyone who knows about or follows anybody that climbs mountains knows that K2, although not the biggest summit, is the most dangerous one. It's spoken about with great frequency. And not only is it very dangerous, it's not to be done, attempted, or even thought about in winter. So what made you think that?
Well, I love, I'm one of those person who love challenge and everything, and I think it's the only 1,000 meter peak that still remains on climb. And of course, I wanted to go and do this not only for the Nepalese climbing community, but equally for the Gurkhas. And again, so those are the lines that I'm looking into it. And hopefully through this project, last year I have been raising the awareness about climate change, but through this project I just wanted to talk more about what we can do right now, as in like act now, in order to make a huge difference in climate change, global warming, and how we can have run a sustainable environment. So those are the three primary objectives for this mission.
Talk to me about. I interviewed a guy called Ron Garan, and Ron, you probably don't know him, but Ron was one of the pilots on the space shuttle, and he lived on the space station for 6 months, and he's done 4 spacewalks, and so he's a very accomplished astronaut. He talks about being in space and looking down at the Earth, and he just sat there one day looking out of the window of the space station, looking at our planet, and he couldn't believe what we were doing to damage it. He couldn't get his head around why we would destroy something so beautiful. And it's inspired him to go and make change and give his effort to trying to deal with some of the problems that our planet creates. And climate change is one of them. How did you get connected with that yourself, and what kind of impact has it had on you?
For me, like, I absolutely believe that, our planet Earth is our home. What I'm now in this building is it's not a home, And I just give, like, a simple example to the people. This, artificial structure doesn't give you happiness. Sometimes, or if you are in that bubble, you must be in wrong. For example, if somebody is stressed, if somebody is like worried, for example, if you just go for a walking, and that's provided by the nature, our home, and then your mind gets fresh and everything. And if you want to take into extreme stuff, you go rafting, you are so happy, you forget everything. And I think that's where our home is. I'm talking really basic over there. But I also believe that it is not in our rights to destroy this planet and have nothing for our future generations. you know I absolutely believe in that. And now moving into your another question, what are the changes I have seen? I've seen loads of changes, specifically in the Himalayas and the big mountains. The current one I just recently came was from, like, Himza Glacier. It used to be glacier before, but now there's a lake. All the glaciers are melting, and the impact of that is huge. There are so many people who live, under the shadow of these big mountains, relying on this, fresh water resources. And if there's no water eventually, like, it's a disaster. It's not only the life is affecting to the people who lives over there, but also, like, the plants, the vegetation, the animals, every life gonna get affected. So it's very scary to see that. And I think if we don't act now, as in this decade, I think we may be a bit late to save, the whole of the human race, because nature has always bigger thing to say.
Yeah.
So yeah, so through everything what I do now, I'm just trying to raise the awareness, and I'm just saying, like, look, if every people, 8 billion population, whatever they do, if they put the earth, our home, in the core of their heart, whenever they make decisions, whenever they are building anything else, the factory, whatever it is, I think we can easily make this, like, we can easily solve this problem. That's what I believe.
I just need to say a big thank you to all of the team, to Alicia, my producer, to Sam, and to Sabine, the people that helped put this all together, because this is genuinely a group of us that do all of this. If you've enjoyed this episode, then you can click over there and you can see more episodes. But you can, over there, subscribe. And if you subscribe and hit the bell button, every single episode is going to come to you as soon as we produce it. And hopefully, and I say hopefully because I know secretly you're getting something out of it, hopefully you're going to do that and you're going to subscribe over there. You're going to press that bell button and you're going to make sure that you keep updated with this awesome stuff that's being produced.